Hello and welcome to the National Futsal Series, brought to you live from the Repton Sports Centre this morning. Well, it's a bright and early start today with 4 men's Tier 1 games on the card. Up first, it's the reigning champions Bloomsbury taking on Hartpury. I'm Isaac Barrington, and I'm pleased to say I am once again joined for commentary by the head coach of St Mary's University women's team, Louis Melville. Louis, good to see you again. What are your overall thoughts and expectations ahead of today's play?
Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, everyone. As you say, a nice, bright and early start. And it's going to be interesting. We've spoken before about these first early games and how well the players can adapt to. It's a change to how they prepare for games. You know, they've got to think about probably travelling to the game and where they fit in their pre-match meal, and then how they cope with the early starts. I remember speaking to Stuart Cooker a few times about this, saying how players love their routines and some players just aren't great in the morning. So, but we do know one thing about Bloomsbury is they do start well and they do start quickly. So Hartpury are going to have to be on the ball today from the whistle.
Yeah, so Bloomsbury, Hartpury up first. To follow that, we'll have York Vikings taking on Wessex. Then Maidenhead United go head-to-head with Bolton. That game live for you over on TNT Sports 3. That's the main TV game before Derby hosts this weekend. Take on Manchester, I should say, in the final game. So Derby against Manchester, the final game, 3:15, the kick-off time for that one. Let's show you the league table as well then, and how that stands ahead of all of today's matches. And as always, it's looking extremely competitive all the way throughout from top to bottom. The fixtures continuing, Louis, to come thick and fast now before the Christmas break.
Yeah, and Bloomsbury definitely will want to get the day off to a positive start with 3 points, because they've got Manchester hot on their heels. And Maidenhead United, they've been, I guess you'd call them the surprise package, but when you actually look at their squad, they've got a lot of experience in there. And they'll be looking to keep the pressure on after their loss last week. And then at the bottom of the table, Wessex desperate to buy points at the moment, but you know, they've got to get something from today as well.
Yeah, big 3 points up for grabs across the course of all 4 games today. It's Bloomsbury, the reigning champions and league leaders, of course, looking to retain their status as English champions, Tier 1 champions, played in the UEFA Futsal Champions League preliminary stages. Of course, over the summer that didn't go their way, but you'd expect the experience that they got from that, Louis, as well, would be something they can lean on and build from as the season goes on, this fresh campaign.
Yeah, I think, you know, looking at their start, we'll see the starting fives in a moment, but you know, they've got their starting five today: Jack Walsh, Russ Goldstein, Richard Ward, Eddie Amorim, Ryan Walsh, and you know, that is a very, very strong starting five. But the problem for Hartpury is the depth of the bench of Bloomsbury. When you've got, you know, internationals, you've got Irish internationals, New Zealand internationals coming off the bench as your next line of 4, then you really do have a big problem to solve.
Yeah, well, here come the 2 teams then. It's Bloomsbury in their regular gold and black, and Hartpury in the white. It's the 2 teams led out onto the court. The referees leading the 2 sides out, the referees for this one, Harvey Newstead and Nikolaj Seidai. Let's run you through how those 2 teams do line up then. So the Bloomsbury starting 5, Jack Walsh in goal, Russell Goldstein, Richard Ward, captains the side, Eduardo Amorim and Ryan Walsh. Then the substitute option, substitute goalkeeper Dimar Lahoz, Ollie Jones, Logan Wisniewski, Connor Miller, Charlie Coohan, Angel Martinez, Jamie Brooker, Vitor Lima and Liam Palfreman. They are led, of course, by their head coach Juan Tapia Owens. As for Hartpury, it's a bit of a depleted squad today, with Dylan Melpaz in goal. Jack Tyson, their top goal scorer, does start alongside captain Sam Kerwin, Josh Nathan and Doug Reed, but just the 3 substitute options, one of which is a goalkeeping option from the bench. Michael Wright, then Shane Cook and Marshall Hale are the starting 2 benched players. Pete Valance is the man in charge of his Hartpury team. So you would imagine, Louis, a difficult task for Hartpury today, given the nature of the 2 squads that we see on show, but they've got to get off to a good start if they are to pick anything up.
Yeah, I think that the main thing here is that Hartpury stay in the game, you know, in the first 5-10 minutes. We have seen Bloomsbury come out with this really dynamic fast start, and it's 2-3 goals very quickly, and then, you know, your back's against the wall. So I would just really think Hartpury need to control the game. They don't need to take too many risks, but they just need to make sure that they don't allow Bloomsbury to get off to a fast start.
See the Hartpury camp there, just going through their final pre-match preparations.
Instagram, YouTube, and you're taking photographs or
Now very nearly ready to begin. The two captains there just in the centre circle. Richard Ward, of course, the skipper for Bloomsbury, and it's Sam Kerwin with the captain's armband on for Hartpury.
I think we've got a few mows going on there with the tashes, and Richard Ward got a particularly spectacular one there, I think.
And the two sets of starting fives making their way out onto the court now then. For Bloomsbury, of course, it's another game that they go into this season as favourites. They're the side who are expected to pick up the 3 points here on paper, but well, games aren't played on paper and they need to get the job done. But certainly looking through their squad today, the players that they've brought with them and the strength in depth that you mentioned as well, Lou, you would expect that they will likely have too much quality for Hartpury, but they've got to make that quality count on court.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't underestimate Hartpury. They do have quality. They've got a lot of experience in Doug Reed, Chris Bright, Jack Tyson today. How Hartpury can get him into the game and how effective can he be and efficient with the chances he's going to get, because he's probably going to have to really work hard for those chances today.
Well, we are underway then. Bloomsbury get the ball rolling at the start of this game. Goes long from the goalkeeper, and immediately it's an opportunity right from the get-go. Richard Ward here, still with the ball inside the penalty area. And Doug Reed for Hartpury manages to eventually clear that one away, but it was a hairy moment from the start for Pete Valence's side, and Bloomsbury already threatening the Dylan Malpass goal. They've got this set piece now, which is lofted across. Amarim didn't make the connection that he wanted, and trickled back through to Malpass.
Yeah, we saw that first break off there.
Forward here to Tyson as the opportunity may have come about for Hartpury, but nothing coming of it in the end, and it's comfortable possession once more for Bloomsbury.
I was going to say that first line pressure from Hartpury there, they went for the press, but it got broke too easily, and then literally within seconds, Bloomsbury had manufactured a chance there.
Reed then dispossessed. Ward saw it presented back to him. Still inside the opening minute here at the Repton Sports Centre. Amarim, or him and Walsh left it for each other. It's presented straight on a plate really for Sam Kerwin. It was still with much work to do though for the Hartpury captain, but a mix-up at the back for Bloomsbury, which very nearly was taken advantage of.
You don't see that too often from Bloomsbury, indecision at the back.
Ward on the turn, just stinging the palms of goalkeeper Malpass, out for the corner.
And we probably sound like a bit of a broken record here with Dylan Malpass, but he's certainly going to be a key figure today, and he really needs to produce one of his best games if he's going to keep Bloomsbury out.
Taking short there to Amarin, who took the shot on despite the acute angle. We start with the goal clearance from Malpass. It's a good distribution as well, which sets Hartpury on their way. Good block to begin with, and at the second time of asking as well, the block was made to deny Josh Nathan, formerly of Bloomsbury, of course, up against his former club today. Never properly broke through to the Tier 1 side, but very much came through their development ranks. England under-19 international as well, Josh Nathan.
Great example there from Dylan Malpass, how he came out there and just cleared that mess up and prevented Bloomsbury attack.
Loose away from Kerwin. It's a strong sliding challenge, which is deemed fair as the ball was won. Amarim now. Ryan Walsh with the final touch, not to be confused, of course, with his brother Jack Walsh, who's the Bloomsbury goalkeeper. On the cue there, calling the orders on the touchline alongside Pete Valence for Hartpury. The other side of the ball now. Malpass is forward as a fly goalkeeper.
And this is a really great way to sort of control possession and stop Bloomsbury from really mounting those devastating counter-attacks. But we see the Dylan Malpass just drops off.
Kerwin. Here's Bright. Gives the ball away though. Tyson. Through the legs of Ward. A little bit scrappy in the Bloomsbury half of the court, but the champions do have the ball back. It's a really strong sliding tackle from Kerwin and takes out the referee on the far side too. Accidental, of course, but it just goes to show the level of contact and ferocity at which the challenge was made with.
A great balance there from Harvey Newstead to stay on his feet. As we see, it goes through, and great footwork.
Yeah, the referee there, Harvey Newstead, on the far side, just speaking for a moment as well with Pete Valance, the Hartpury head coach. Jamie Brooker onto court for Bloomsbury. In fact, they've made a full line change here. There's Palfreman now. Brooker. Lima. Palfreman into the pivot. Ward. Just too far ahead of Vitor Lima. That's out for the Hartpury kick. It's still 0-0, nearly 3 minutes played here in the first game of 4 today in the National Futsal Series. Men's Tier 1 fixtures from the Repton Sports Centre. Malpass can't have possession back now. Nathan spinning away from Connor Miller. Forward and wants it back here. Nathan across the face of goal instead. It wasn't too far away from Chris Bright, and it wasn't too far away from finding the net itself.
Yeah, that was a great bit of play there from. We just saw Connor Miller there. He just overcommitted. He got level, and then that allowed the breakaway. And a really good chance there for Hartpury, and just wide.
Miller there on the turn, all the way across to Palfreman. And again, Malpass using the full width of his penalty area. Always a goalkeeper who likes to come out to the edge of it and really command the space. That's what we saw from him there. Palfreman this time with the delivery for Brooker to try to control with the volley. Wasn't able to.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, Isaac, some great goalkeeping from Dylan Malpass. As soon as he saw the pass, he was out to Palfreman to really shut down that space and limit his opportunity to get it past him. Really positive goalkeeping.
Oh, Chris Bright's giving the ball away. Now Miller, it's a good save to begin with, but it's put in on the follow-up. And well, it's Connor Miller who pounces upon a Hartpury error for the first goal of the game. 1-0 to Bloomsbury.
Yeah, that's just a really poor pass out from Chris Bright, and it's a great save from Dylan Malpass, but he can't get up quick enough and can't recover either from the recovering defender, and it's a bit of a soft goal there for Hartpury. They'd started quite well, I thought.
Yeah, well, they had matched Bloomsbury up until that point, but can't afford individual errors like that. Chris Bright won't need telling that, well, he's given the opportunity away and Bloomsbury have taken it. Malpass with the first save, but wasn't anybody in white defending to react quickest to the resultant rebound effort. Miller there with another strike as it was sent his way.
And I think we've got to give Connor Miller some credit there as well, because the first shot was well saved, and instead of panicking and shooting again at the goalkeeper, he kept his nerve and he shot high, which is what we ask players to do, aim for the roof.
Jack Walsh seeing that one all the way through, out and behind. Long with the throw out in search of Connor Miller, but too high for him that time. Malpass opposingly going short. Now Reed. Forward with the parallel option, but the goalkeeper Walsh quickly out of his penalty area, alert to the danger there.
Yeah, we saw the importance again there of the goalkeeper being really alert, being aware, and take that positive action.
Shane Cook taking the kick in. Miscontrol that time by the experienced Reed.
Happens to the best of players. I think the main thing for Hartpury is just to carry on, stick to their game plan. Okay, they've made a mistake, but they have started well, they have started positively, and they just need to stick to it, not to panic.
Vitor Lima with the ball forwards, finding the goal scorer Miller. Back into Lima again, it trickles through back to Malpass. Right again under pressure, and again under pressure from Miller that time. Just a ricochet with the touch off the right foot of Miller, taking it out and behind. But again, it was another concerning moment for Hartpury in their own defensive third. Bloomsbury goalkeeper that time. Hartpury will drop off and afford Bloomsbury the time and space in their own half of the court. Forward now. Ward with the roll back in search of Vitor Lima.
And Shane Cook there with some good covering work to make sure that didn't develop anymore. And this is an area where Bloomsbury tried to excel at on the set pieces. We know the stats tell us 25 to 30% of goals are scored from set pieces and restarts, so I know that Juan Tapia Rangers concentrates on this a lot.
See if Bloomsbury can make this one count, not that time. Ward's effort was quickly closed down by Morgan. 5 minutes played now, Bloomsbury leading by 1-0. Connor Miller, the man with it. Amarim. Gets it back to there, Eddie Amarim. Blocked by Reed that time.
Yeah, good organisation there from Hartpury. They managed to stick to their task there and got the block in.
Dylan Malpass here, the Hartpury goalkeeper, calling the orders for his defensive wall. All the way across the face of goal from Amarim.
Yeah, we heard Dylan Malpass telling him to get together, and he just doesn't want that gap in case it takes a ricochet, and with the two players in the wall, that's less likely to happen.
Amarim here with the ball again. Been a successful start to the season so far for Bloomsbury, just the once that they haven't been able to win. That was the opening day 3-3 draw with Manchester, but every game since has gone their way. It's a good habit to build with, winning week in, week out. And Shane Cook. Hale robbed of possession that time and showed his frustration in getting back at Ward, but it's always going to be a foul.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one for the referee, and probably not a bad tactical foul there, because that did look a promising move for Bloomsbury.
Yeah, the Danish referee on this near side, Nikolaj Sadai, part of the partnership that the FA futsal referees have with referees from abroad across to officiate this weekend. Decided there to keep the card in his pocket, but it's a definite foul.
Yeah, you can see what Bloomsbury are trying to do there, getting Richard Ward there and right in the corner, trying to stretch the play as much as possible, and then oncoming players, whether there's a setback on or whether Richard Ward can then take that touch and get the shot off.
Logan Wisniewski looks the obvious option to step onto this to strike, but instead he goes all the way across. Goldstein wants it back, nearly gets it as well. It's a good challenge though from Hale. Stitch defending really, but it was a good tackle to get to the ball.
Yeah, they switched that play nicely to move the Hartpury defence across, and it almost resulted in Russ Goldstein there with the goal.
Again, a Hartpury player sliding across in front of their substitutes bench. Doug Reed that time. Hale there sensing an opportunity to intercept, but he couldn't. Long diagonal all the way through here to Ward. Back across to the second post. Bloomsbury trying to walk the ball into the net. It's well defended in the end, but just wonder whether the pass was a little bit behind the run of Goldstein at the back stick for where he would have best preferred it.
Yeah, we saw a classic there, 3 in line. Russ Goldstein runs through, and as you say, Isaac, well spotted there, that pass is just slightly behind him, 6 inches in front, and that's probably a goal.
Yeah, fine margins, but it stays at 1-0. Bloomsbury now, though, very much the side on top. Hartpury struggling to get out their half of the court. Wisniewski. Jones. Couldn't find Miller. Alfreman sweeping up. Back to the goalkeeper, who is yet to be called into action in terms of save making so far, Jack Walsh. Wisniewski again. Up to Miller. Wisniewski working the ball across to Alfreman. Wisniewski again in search of Connor Miller. Cut out though.
Yeah, this game's starting to turn into a little bit of a war of attrition for Hartpury. Bloomsbury enjoying a lot of possession now, and they've got to try and find a way to break this.
Two kicking set pieces in quick succession here for Bloomsbury. It's worked to Wisniewski. The goalkeeper, I think, saw that one a little bit late as it came through a bit of a crowd because it was an unusual spillage, but away out it goes.
I think Dylan Malpass is probably fortunate that was straight at him, because either side, and that could have been difficult, or more difficult.
Wisniewski all the way across. It's a couple of times now that Bloomsbury have tried that same big volley corner, but same outcome on both occasions. It was Brooker to begin with, and Miller on that occasion. Nathan with the kick in directly back to Malpass and directly forward here to Cohen. And well, Walsh does have to make the stop that time. First save that he's had to make, and it came to deny the Hartpury captain. Direct route one, really, all the way through to Kerwin, and it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, but that was a great run by Kerwin. He's just gone out wide and then coming back behind the fix and manufactured that opportunity.
Jones forcing the save from Malpass again.
I think Dylan Malpass is up to about 6 or 7 saves, or key saves, I would say.
Wisniewski. Jones forwards again. Now Palfreman to deflection. Bloomsbury ball.
It's just an incessant wave of possession and attacks at the moment from Bloomsbury, and Hartpury just going to have to soak this up and stay in the game.
Taken short again, sent in touch of Connor Miller. But yeah, by that one opportunity that we've just seen for Hartpury, it's very much been one-way traffic, and one-way traffic on the Hartpury goal. But Bloomsbury have only found the net the once. I think we alluded to pre-match that Hartpury would have to stay in the game early on and ensure that it didn't get away from them in the first, perhaps quarter of the game. We've nearly played a quarter of the game now. It is just 1-0.
I would say that the one thing Hartpury can draw some comfort from is that the goal was a mistake. You know, it's not as though Bloomsbury worked that opportunity. It was a goal that was gifted to them, and since then they've managed to deal with it pretty well.
Here's the goal scorer, Miller, on the turn again, firing the shot in that time with his left foot.
Yeah, again, Connor Miller, he's really difficult in those wide positions. He's able to work the opportunity and gets a clean shot off. But I think Malpass had that covered.
Up to the Hartpury pivot, Tyson, who's done well there to bring Kerwin into the play. Less so though from the skipper, who tried something a little bit inquisitive but ran out of room.
You're seeing there that it's starting to drop off even more, Hartpury.
Palfreman. Hammer then under pressure from Tyson. Hartpury choosing their moments to step further up court.
Yeah, that's well played there by Hartpury. They dropped off, and then the trigger for the press went, and they managed to force them back.
Hammer back to the goalkeeper. Scooping it long, and here to Martinez. Freshly onto court there, Angel Martinez. On the end of the return ball back to him, and again it's another save from Malpass.
Yeah, I think Martinez will be a little bit disappointed there, because he had plenty of time to set that up and probably should have gone in the corners top high, but as we spoke before with Connor Miller, but I think Malpass probably went down a little bit early there and gave him the opportunity.
Marine back to Jack Walsh again, who really was involved in setting up that latest opportunity. Might he be involved in setting one up here? Martinez again, just stretching for it, but it was wayward of where he was planted.
Bloomsbury starting to turn the screw a little bit more here. They're just upping the tempo of the game. Vitor Lima are on now, and he's a really tricky customer.
Directly up there to Tyson. Unable to hold on to it that time. 10 minutes played, still Bloomsbury 1, Hartpury 0. Lima wanting it back, Martinez back across, and somehow it's not put in, almost on the goal line by Eddie Amorim.
I think Eddie Amorim may have, I think he was trying to take a touch on that, and the timeout's being called. But here we see Eddie Amorim, great run to the second post. And I think he was going to try and put his foot on there to stop it, when possibly he should have just taken the shot. But only Eddie knows what he was doing there. You know, I've obviously been fortunate enough to coach him, and 99 times out of 100, you back him to finish that.
Yeah, well, involved in the setup play as well, playing the initial ball across to Martinez. He got it back, but yeah, well, it's a big chance, and it should be 2-0 to Bloomsbury. And the timeout here having been called, so Hartpury just with the opportunity to reset things and try to build from here. What do you think is being said here in the Bloomsbury timeout that we can see led by Hartpury, and then conversely for Hartpury with Pete Valens taking charge?
Yeah, well, I think from Hartpury's perspective, it's just about trying to stop the momentum of the game, give them a chance to breathe and have a reset. I think with Hartpury, I think the message is probably going to be don't get frustrated, although we've had plenty of chances, and you know, you are up against a top-class keeper in Dylan Malpass, international keeper, and I think they've just got to be patient. They've just got to bide their time. The goal probably will come at some stage because they're creating so many opportunities. You know, and let's be honest, it should be 2-0 at the very least at the moment, with that chance that fell to a quality player like Eddie Amorim. But here we go. We'll see what comes out of this.
Yeah, back to the action then as Hartpury do resume the game. Right, that time wriggling free of Lima. Tyson holding off the defender well. Better possession immediately from the restart here for Hartpury. Kerwin under intense pressure here though from Martinez. Goes to ground, doesn't get the foul, but does get the kick in.
Yeah, they probably would have liked the foul there, Hartpury, but the referee, the Danish referees decided it's close enough for a kick in, but I'm sure the coach would love the foul.
Right, across to Malpass. Going long into the chest of Tyson. Brooker on as the Bloomsbury fix at the moment. That's a battle to keep an eye on, perhaps, between Jamie Brooker and the physical presence of Jack Tyson for Hartpury. Martinez.
I think one of the problems for Hartpury is when the ball goes into Tyson, he's just so isolated, he's so separated from the rest of the players that it's easy for Bloomsbury to get a player in front, and then suddenly he's 2 and sometimes 3 against 1. And Hartpury just got to find a way to get better support and quicker support up to him.
Here's Bright. Forward down the line, but too much pace behind the ball for Nathan to catch.
I think Chris Bright there was just stretching for that pass, and ideally would have lifted that pass and it would have slowed down, but he was on the stretch. And that's a rare careless pass from Bloomsbury, just to play that pass out, and good opportunity for Hartpury on the halfway line as they make another change.
Malpass forwards again. Kerwin at the back of the system at the moment, but not finding the correct ball. Lima's taken it quickly. There was a bit of confusion there for Bloomsbury as they tried to make a couple of substitutions, and I think, well, half on court were trying to slow the game down to make the changes, and the other 2 or 3 were perhaps trying to take it quickly and catch the goalkeeper out, who was still in the attacking half.
Yeah, I'm not sure Bloomsbury really realised, and one of their subs put the ball on the line and went go, but I think Bloomsbury were a little bit slow in realising what the opportunity was, because Dylan Malpass was still pretty close to the goal line, the Bloomsbury goal line.
Yeah, a little bit slow getting back perhaps, but they've taken up a position really high up the court. Forward here, an opportunity for Bloomsbury. Ward looking to round the goalkeeper. I think maybe asking the question of the referee as to where the contact with the hand was there, but only has to be on the line to be inside the penalty box, of course. And Malpass again coming right out to the edge of the area.
Yeah, I think that was inside his area. We see his right hand is behind him, and definitely inside the area.
Morgan with the roll back, not the best of sets for a teammate though. Goldstein was lurking behind him and eager to latch onto the end of it.
It was a great recovery tackle by Sam Kerwin, because he was left short there, but he just about got it in.
Charlie Coohan to take the corner. Back to Jones. Now Ward. Not quite on the same wavelength to begin with, perhaps, as teammate Coohan.
So good work there again from Kerwin, just to block the line off and not to let him get in.
Poor roll out that time from the Hartpury goalkeeper, and they nearly were made to pay for it. Uncharacteristic of Dylan Malpass to give the ball away directly from the goal clearance, but that's what happened there. Jones. Coohan all the way across again for Russell Goldstein. Those two exchanging passes once more. Coohan offering as an option in the centre, all the way across instead to the back post. And it was, well, Richard Ward at the second post area, but again, the goalkeeper down to make the block, the save, to intervene, to just about do enough.
Yeah, this ball was really fizzed in. It took a deflection, and to be fair, Richard Ward did really well to bring that under control.
Still, the pressure remains on the Hartpury goal. Not the accuracy that the Bloomsbury skipper wanted that time.
Just a bit more frustration here for Bloomsbury, with less than 7 minutes to go in the first half, and Hartpury will be pleased with this, I think. Although they're not creating many chances, they're starting to deal with this quite comfortably now.
Yeah, certainly positives, aren't there, for Hartpury to take from this first half. Good read there, pleading with the referee for the decision. It went against him and needs to just reset back to the action now. Goldstein was scrambling around on the deck, does get the foul.
I think it might have been the last challenge. He was on the floor, he just leaned into him with his leg, and too much there for Harvey Newstead, so that's their second foul.
Yep, 2 fouls in the game so far, both of them having gone against Hartpury. A bit of afters there between Richard Ward and Doug Reed, which the referee needs to attend to. It was, and the ball was already out of play.
Two of the most experienced players on the court there, and they know each other really well from their time with England as well. So, a bit of handbags, I think.
Yeah, well, back to the game, as it was a Hartpury kick-in, so really it was Reed's right to go and get the ball, but Ward was in the way. 6 minutes to play until half-time. Ward, Goldstein taking over. Blocked by Shane Cook that time before reaching the goalkeeper.
I think they've really settled into this now, Hartpury. I think they've accepted their role here, that they need to get their tackles in, they need to get their blocks in, they need to track their players, and they're sticking to their task really well now, and that's just really frustrating Bloomsbury.
Coming to that particular corner, Hartpury have themselves this kick-in. Cook. Back to Malpass, forward first time again. It's very much the outlet that Hartpury will look for and continue to look for as the game progresses as well, with Tyson as the pivot.
I think the one thing here is that the quality of the ball into Jack Tyson just needs to be a little bit better. He's not getting a lot of quality into him, and he's having to fight the ball, or the ball's at an awkward height for him.
Wisniewski. Once more to Logan Wisniewski.
again,
So from Ryan Walsh.
again, you know, for Hartpury, that's a win. To force them to make that error there, that's a big win for Hartpury. And those are the sort of things where psychologically the players start to get frustrated and start to try things that they don't normally do.
Parallel ball, they're rolling out of play. Wisniewski, long and more direct, but it's palmed away well by Malpass. Wisniewski picks a good pass. Pelfreman went to try to chip the goalkeeper. I think it's still there and cleared away by Reed in the goalmouth area. Tyson will try to kickstart the counter-attack, but can't.
Well, we saw Doug Reed's experience there. Malpass went out and Doug Reed came round on the cover to make sure that he had that goal covered in case Malpass got beaten. That's a great lesson there for young futsal players watching about how to cover when your goalkeeper goes out.
Yeah, again, it was another instance of Malpass right out to the edge of the penalty area. I think Alfreman was well aware of that, tried to chip the goalkeeper, but it was the Hartpury #1 who came out on top in that particular battle. Not the first time today that the ball's just run away from Sam Cohen like that.
Yeah, I think Conor Miller looking for a change. In that last challenge he picked up a knock and he's still struggling with it, can't run it off at the moment.
Yeah, want to keep an eye on for sure. He's high as the Bloomsbury pivot at the moment. Given away there to Morgan. Halfman desperately trying to recover. Cohen, still the chance might be on. Bloomsbury now with bodies back. One of those, Miller, who's back to help out, but he's lost possession. The referee's whistle has gone. And for the shirt pull, as you can see indicated by the near side official, so it will here be an opportunity for the free kick in a really good position for Hartpury.
Yeah, well done there. Yeah, good spot by the referee, by the way, there. And just in that last moment, we saw Bloomsbury just unravel a little bit. It got a bit messy, and Hartpury here presented with a great opportunity now with just under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, any attacking set-piece opportunities really have been a rarity for Hartpury in this first half. But they've got one here, and in a good position from the free kick. An interesting setup. Bright with the roll. Doesn't come to anything in the end. Nathan saw his shot blocked. Likewise for Conor Miller, who I think now will be replaced.
And another good recovery run there and a good challenge, and you could hear the bench go up as he made that challenge.
Morgan taking up the pivot role with Tyson off for a breather at the moment. Bright skips away from Ryan Walsh. Better possession here at the moment for Hartpury, and remember, just the one goal in the game too, despite the opportunities that Bloomsbury have created. Morgan forward here to Chris Bright again, lost his footing though. Found once more by Morgan. It's a Hartpury ball.
As you say there, Isaac, he just lost his footing at the crucial moment, but good little spell there, and if they can just put a few more of those together, then they'll start to ask a few questions of Bloomsbury.
Making sure for Nathan to step on too. Never looked comfortable with taking the shot on there though, really, Josh Nathan. Now down the other end, Vitor Lima, denied by Malpass. Both sides asking for it, goes Hartpury's way, right in front of their bench. Right, forward there to Kerwin. Nathan with the final touch, is it cannon back off him?
What a great little touch there from Sam Cohen inside, took the defender out.
Some of the York Vikings players here watching on. There'll be an action up next. They face Wessex. 11:15, the kick-off time for that one. Bloomsbury again looking to have them another opportunity. Ryan Walsh Alferman helping it on its way. Lima into Walsh again. It's another chance, and somehow it evades the touch of Lima again.
Yeah, brilliant play there from Bloomsbury. They really did zip it around Hartpury, but again, they've just failed to find the finish. That's two clear-cut chances they've missed now. Lima knows.
Long from Malpaz once more, but straight through to the opposite goalkeeper that time.
And Hartpury now, going into the last 2 minutes, they need to be maximum focus, maximum concentration to keep it like this. They really do not want to concede another one before half-time now. They've worked so hard.
Zneski. Loose pass from Walsh. Now Morgan able to try to turn defenders into attack quickly, but there was no avenue for him to exploit. Vitor Lima again here giving Bloomsbury a different type of option, the 3-1 system. His latest stint on court complete. It's Amarim, Goldstein who are back on.
And psychologically, there'll be a little bit of Bloomsbury thinking that, you know, we do not want to concede a goal before half-time now, so they'll be half a mind on that, just to be a little bit more pragmatic, maybe in these last 77 seconds.
Yeah, you'd imagine overall Bloomsbury will be pleased with the control that they've shown in the game, but they haven't been clinical in front of goal, bar the one opportunity, of course, which Miller did take. It only takes a moment for Hartpury to find the net themselves. Another set piece. Nathan to take. Kerwin. Sends the ball all the way back with Malpaz. Into the final minute now of this first half. Hartpury kicking again. Kerwin might open up for the effort on goal, it did, but well, it's a bit of an inquest in the Bloomsbury defence as to how so much space appeared in front of the Hartpury captain there.
Yeah, I think he went to shape to play into the middle, and I think it might have been Ward there that bought that, and that was actually a high-quality opportunity there. I think he had a bit more time and space to drive on a little bit more and get the shot off.
You can see from the reaction, the frustration for Sam Kerwin. Good chance in this final minute of the half. There are definitely positives for Hartpury to take from this first period. The way in which they've sustained the Bloomsbury in possession pressure. They've created themselves a couple of opportunities in the half as well. You think back to the save that Jack Walsh made earlier, the opportunity there for Kerwin as well. If they can build from that moving into the second period, then they might be able to go toe-to-toe with Bloomsbury and really ask them more questions in the second period as well. Here's Tyson. Brooker, no foul given. It's 2v1 there momentarily, but Brooker with a good recovery challenge, and Ward did well to just disrupt the flow of the Hartpury attack as well.
Just wondered whether Josh Nathan had the chance just to play that inside, a little lifted pass to Jack Tyson, who made a brilliant tackle, and then that run.
Nathan, Hartpury here need to be quick, but Bloomsbury have the ball. And on they go into the attacking half. Amarim will have to look to get the shot away, but isn't able to control in the end. And you imagine now that will be that for the first half. So it seems as though Bloomsbury going into the midway point with this 1-0 advantage. It will be sent long direct from Kerwin, given the circumstances. And headed away by Brooker to the sound of the buzzer to bring to an end this first period. 1-0 to Bloomsbury against Hartpury at the midway point then, Louis. What's your overall assessment of that first 20 minutes?
Well, I think we've got to give Hartpury a lot of credit, because it was a poor goal they conceded, but they recovered from that. And I think they've grown into the game in terms of how they're going to set up. I think they've accepted their role, that we have to be organised out of possession, do our jobs, know our roles and responsibilities, and then, as you mentioned, they've actually created a few opportunities towards the end of that half. So I think they'll be going in quite happy with that, and Bloomsbury will probably be quite frustrated to think that we're only 1-0 up, because they've definitely had two chances, which in my opinion should have ended up with a goal.
Yeah, well, frustration in the first half for Bloomsbury with the chances that they're created. We'll see a few of the opportunities that they did create but didn't take in the first period, as well as the goal, which we'll see in a moment as well. Hartpury had themselves opportunities too. That was relatively early on actually for Jack Morgan. The error there from Bright in presenting the ball to Miller. And well, when he was given the second opportunity, it was always going to end up with only the outcome of firing home, really. It was a difficult ask from Melpas to respond at that occasion, having already made the initial stop.
Yeah, we saw this. He was looking for the diagonal pass, but maybe the pass out to the right wing would have been the better opportunity. But fair play to Chris Bright. He puts his hands up straight away, accepts responsibility.
Yeah, that really was the moment that mattered most in the first period. Ultimately, the difference between the teams on the scoreboard at half-time, because Bloomsbury, with their other opportunities, haven't been able to take them.
Yeah, and that was the pass that was just behind Russ Goldstein.
That was the save that I was talking about earlier, with the Jack Walsh stop to deny Kerwood. Good opportunity and a good save from the Bloomsbury shot stopper.
And then this was another chance here. Just whistled past the post from Connor Miller.
Yeah, lots of control generally for Bloomsbury in that first period, but if they need to improve one thing, then it's being more clinical in front of goal. Perhaps another opportunity there for Martinez, and really straight at the goalkeeper that time. Amarim, that's the one, isn't it, where he just... I think he should be going first time, really. If he had the opportunity back, I'm sure he probably would. Instead of trying to control and just take the touch before passing the ball into the empty net, would have just looked to do it first time. That was a difficult one for Ward to control, but you see the frequency at which the replays keep coming with the opportunities that Bloomsbury created in the first half. It really just goes to illustrate the chances that they did create.
Yeah, and that was another gilt-edged chance there for Bloomsbury, so they'll definitely look at two of those opportunities and think, well, you know, it should be 3-0, but Hartpury have grown into the game, and it's going to be intriguing second half, Isaac.
Yeah, certainly. Well, very much looking forward to the second period. We could well have had more goals in that first 20 minutes, but as it stands at half-time, it is just the one. Bloomsbury ahead by 1-0.
Welcome back to the second period here at the Repton School Sports Centre for the National Futsal Series.
Welcome back then to the Repton Sports Centre, where we are now set for the second half to begin between Bloomsbury and Hartpury. It's the first game of the day in the National Futsal Series men's Tier 1 games. 4 games in total for you. This the first of them, and at the midway point, Bloomsbury leading by 1-0. Connor Miller converting after his initial shot was saved by Melpas, but tucking away the rebound. But plenty of positives, Louis, in that first half for Hartpury as well to take moving forward into this second period.
Yeah, absolutely, Isaac. I think Dylan Malpass is going to play another key role in this second half. He's just got to stand firm and be that wall that Bloomsbury have to get past. And I think the last 2 or 3 minutes of that first half was really positive for Hartpury. They created themselves some chances, and they did put Bloomsbury on the back foot, and I think they just need to pick that up, and they don't need to get a goal straight away. This is going to be a long 20 minutes, and I think the fact that they just need to stay in this game, and if it's 1-0 going into the last 5 minutes, that'll suit Hartpury, and it'll be interesting to see what Bloomsbury's approach is in this first 4 or 5 minutes, where they really go at them.
Underway again then for the start of the second period. Hartpury kicking from left to right in this second half, but they're on the back foot here from the off at the second period as Victor Lima and Connor Miller both advanced forwards.
Yeah, just before we came back on air, we did say that Bloomsbury's starting 5 here looked very aggressive, very attacking.
Yeah, with both Lima in seemingly a wider role, with Miller as the focal point, as the pivot, but both of those who were playing as the pivot in the 3-1 system in the first half. across there in search of Logan Wisniewski, but Josh Nathan had to put that ball out.
The thing about Lima, he's just so good in 1v1 situations. You want him matched up against the wing and try and create that space in behind for him to attack.
Wisniewski back to Palford. Change of goalkeeper, incidentally, at half-time for Bloomsbury. Dimar Lahoz is on. Parallel ball, though, judged to have just rolled the wrong side of the line.
Sam Kerman there did a great job of tracking Liam Palfman's run from deep. And that's going to be important for Hartpury to make sure they track the players, their roles and responsibilities in this first 4 or 5 minutes.
Palfman there wasn't able to get to the ball. Nathan was in his way.
I think that was actually a very clever block there by Nathan. He just stepped across Palfman and stopped him from intercepting the ball.
Cohen. Up to Tyson on the turn. Tyson in search of Cohen again, and well, the goalkeeper Lahoz had to be alert to that because Cohen had space at the second post.
It was an excellent save there by Lahoz. It came through a lot of bodies and he saw it late, but just got enough on it.
Tyson. Goes his way. Again, we see Hartpury dropping back and Bloomsbury in this now familiar pattern, bringing the ball up to meet them. Alfreman. Lima. And just trying to turn the Hartpury captain in defence, but it ran away from him. Cohen into Reed. Nathan. Foul by Vito Lima.
Yeah, maybe just got a little bit fortunate there with the foul, but it definitely was a foul. I think Lima didn't necessarily need to go in that aggressive.
Yeah, it's the first foul of the second period. That's loose. Miller's on the end of it. And the goalkeeper's on the end of his strike. Alfreman taking that one short. Tyson perhaps a little close to the ball as it was taken, but the referee was happy with how it was.
It's a massive let off there for Hartpury. Just got a little bit careless like the previous one in the first half and can't afford too many of those against Bloomsbury.
Wisniewski for Miller. Target again, a little closer than the first half efforts that we saw from the Bloomsbury camp, but still with the same outcome as Miller unable to test Melchaz that time. Cohen. Out of play.
You can see what Bloomsbury are trying to do there, setting that trap where it goes out wide, they try and force him inside, and then Connor Miller even, is just trying to intercept that ball and nip in. So they've just got to be aware of that and make sure the ball speed is good enough to get out.
Jones. Reynolds going back to Lahoz. The goalkeeper very happy to come out and play with his feet. Doing the in possession play, long that time to Miller. Miller off to switch with Captain Ward. Melchaz short. Just not quite happening really at the moment for Hartpury in terms of the game overall in the first half and what we've seen at the start of the second period in terms of playing short and then looking long and direct. It's better, as you said in the first half, I think, Lou, when the quality of ball is better into the pivot, that's when they are obviously going to get more success than more of a reset clearance really long like that from the back of the court, and it's just presenting the ball back to Bloomsbury. Bloomsbury here, on the other hand, working it well through the lines of defence.
Yeah, I think what they're doing really well is their first line pressure here. Bloomsbury is causing Hartpury a lot of problems, so they haven't really worked it out yet.
Malpass at full stretch that time. He's heading towards the bottom corner. Three minutes played since the second half restart. Asking for the deflection on the way through there. Not getting it. Kerwin went to block or screen to give Bright a little bit more room, but he's giving the ball away again. Ward. Right in the corner of the court. Referee happy with the challenge. Bloomsbury come away with possession. Ball strikes the ceiling of the sports centre, so it's out for the kick it.
Yeah, got a little bit WWE in the corner there, just but fair play to the ref. He let that one play out.
Ward, definite foul.
Yeah, that was excellent play there by Richard Ward. He received it into his right foot and then just a little feint to go inside, and he drew the foul there. And that's in an excellent position there for Bloomsbury. This is something they'll certainly have worked on in training. See Dylan Malpass just organises defenders within the goalposts. First job is to block the shot, and then they can deal with the secondary play.
So Miller to strike then. It was going wide anyhow, but no chance here is taken by Marshall Hale on the goal line.
Not sure if he was expecting Water just to nip inside there.
Wants to take now short to Miller. Corner again. Ryan Walsh with his corner once more. Again, the angle was difficult though for Miller to wrap his foot around the ball. All the way across, Malpass with the save. On the follow-up, it's a double save. In actual fact, from Malpass, the second time there to deny Ollie Jones.
Yeah, I mean, the first save was excellent. The second save, though, he was down, and the speed at which he got up and stayed front on, chest on. Look at the speed at which he gets up. That's a tremendous save.
Ward across the face of goal, and Jones was mightily close to it. Will be another Bloomsbury set piece. There must have been a touch on the way through.
Some serious questions being asked of Hartpury here. They have to stand strong. They have to make sure they get the blocks in.
Goldstein. Again, it is another good block. It's one-way traffic at the moment. Bloomsbury very much knocking hard on the Hartpury door. Ward with the ball round the corner. Goldstein's missed the target. It's a frustrating one for him because it was an excellent piece of build-up play. And Ward sent him on his way.
Yeah, some excellent play here. They managed to cut through that little round the corner ball there from Richard Ward. Really clever play there, really subtle play, and Ross Goldstein will be disappointed with himself there. Probably just overreaching for the ball. Problem for Hartpury at the moment is they just cannot have any significant possession of the ball. It's one or two passes and then it goes straight back to Bloomsbury.
Yeah, it very much seems as though if Hartpury are going to get any success at this stage, it looks like he's going to have to be on the counter-attack in the transitional moment, because as you say, they haven't been able to string a succession of passes together again. It's just a rushed long clearance away from the defensive area, and Bloomsbury with the ball once more. But still, the positive for Hartpury is the fact that it's just one goal that splits the teams still at this stage. And even that came from an error. Bloomsbury haven't really had success in, well, not breaking them down and converting the chances. They've done half the job. Haven't been clinical enough in front of goal.
It's just little things like that where just Russ Goldstein couldn't bring it under control. If they can start forcing a few more of those, or those things happening, the confidence just starts to wane a little bit with Bloomsbury, and that may allow Hartpury an opportunity back into the game. But at the moment, it's really hard work for Hartpury. just possession turnovers like that, and then it's just coming straight back at them. And psychologically, you just have to be so strong to stand up to that and attack after attack.
Lima. All the way forward there for Miller. Still Connor Miller with it, and it's a touch off the goalkeeper, which takes it out for the corner.
Yeah, that was a difficult one there for the referees, but I think Dylan Malpass made contact first with the ball, and again his recovery was excellent.
Yeah, well, there was an appeal from the Bloomsbury bench. Nathan back to Reed. Not really much he could have done with that though. Still Hartpury do have the ball, at least for the time being, and that's much better for them.
That just showed they've got the ability to get out once they get the passes right and everything's on point. They can get out.
Lima. Back here to Eddie Amarim. That one's cut out by Nathan.
Yeah, it was good work by him there. He just read the pass and cut that passing line off.
Across to Lima. Nathan taken to ground. Free kick for Hartpury.
Just need a match ball here.
Yeah, the referee there was just asking for the ball to be sent back for the game to be restarted. Back underway now. It's another foul. And we're in the guilty party.
Yeah, I think putting the hand on him was fine. It was just the push afterwards. And it probably was unnecessary because he was facing backwards going to his own goal.
Hartpury there have given the ball away forward towards Miller. Not quite on point with the pass that time though, Amarin, but again Hartpury guilty of giving the ball away in a dangerous area inside their half of the court. A referee kick. On from Malpass forward to Tyson, whose involvement in the game has diminished somewhat in the second half, but still somebody who they will try to get into the game more often. Lima skips past the first challenge and still going, Miller still. Bloomsbury do just need to be a little bit careful with the foul count now, by the way, on to 3 fouls. Still with 13 minutes left to play.
I think what's proving difficult for Hartpury is when they do recover the ball, all their 4 players are pretty much within the area, and then anytime Malpass gets the ball, it's really difficult to launch a counter-attack because they've literally got to travel 34 metres of the court to get to the other end.
Lima, that was anticipated though by Tyson. Amarin back to Lahoz. He goes long across the face of goal again. It's still there, and eventually Bloomsbury do get the second goal that they've been craving for so long. Eddie Amarin with the finish. It's 2-0.
Yeah, it's a good delivery from Lahoz. Good first touch, good save from Malpass, but this time Eddie Amarin on his right foot into that far corner. And that may well be the game over because Hartpury have had to work really hard for any chances they've got. And it's difficult to see how Hartpury are going to come back from here, even though we've still got just under 12 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, well, definitely still time, but it just looks unlikely that Hartpury will be able to bring themselves back from this position. The task in hand has just become doubly difficult for them. certainly Bloomsbury though deserve it with the chances that they've created and the opportunities they've had, the saves that Malpas has had to make. Was left scrambling on the full that time. Again, it was a second bite at it really as Amarim rolled in.
I think the area for Hartpury may be, as you mentioned before, Isaac, the foul count. Bloomsbury on 3 at the moment. If they can draw a couple of fouls, then we're into 10-metre penalty territory.
Hartpury now changing their defensive tactic. They've got to really and step higher up the court to press. Lima, long for Miller, of course, that leaves space in the Hartpury half of the court that Bloomsbury will try to exploit. Not quite that time, but pattern of the game perhaps about to change if Hartpury are going to come out and press. Morgan. Short there for Kerwin.
Yeah, you could hear a shout from the bench, close the middle. And that forced Hartpury to go down the sides there, and it ended up going out of play.
Lima passed the first challenge, but not past Kerwin that time.
I think Juan Tapia will be a relief man to see that second goal in.
Yeah, he'll be feeling a whole lot happier about things now, given the second goal and the cushion that his side now have. Kerwin, held up that time by Miller.
Good pressure again there from Richard Ward. That first line pressure forced the pass out wide and then forced the mistake.
Back to Brocker. He's continuing to move the ball well, but Ward then trying to penetrate the resolute Hartpury defence, but unable to find anybody in gold and black that time.
The other option for Hartpury, but it may be too early, is to think about the fly keeper with Dylan Malpas. We know he's good enough technically to do that, and he's scored goals in the past. It's even when they decide to go that route.
Yeah, well, we saw a little hint of Malpas coming forward in the first half. We haven't seen that at all in the second period. Definitely something that might give Hartpury more control in the game in terms of possession. We'll see Lahoz here offer as an option in possession, just as we speak about the goalkeepers potentially coming forwards, and Bloomsbury maybe with that option as well. But certainly for Hartpury, if they are to get back into this game, then something needs to change, and that's something that they can control in terms of changing and going 5v4 with the fly goalkeeper. And Malpas is, well, a brilliant weapon to be able to do that, but well, the task has just become even harder, and it's Richard Ward who gives Bloomsbury their, well, long-earned reward at the end of it. 3 goals up now. Yeah, it's another third champions.
Yeah, we saw Richard Ward's individual ability then. Just that really little subtle, as we see here, he just lifts the ball up just to get past the 2 of the defenders and then unleashes the shot there. It's central. He saw Malpas try to set and he's just got it between his legs. It's forced the timeout, and it's going to be interesting to see now whether Pete Valance and Paul McHugh just decide to go fly, because at 3-0 down with just over a quarter of the game to go, I'm not sure what their options are, because if the game carries on as it is, I think, you know, it's going to end up 5 or 6-0.
Yeah, well, there's not too much to lose now, really, is there, for them, because they've got to really go for it at this stage. 3 goals down. As you can see here, the timeout being led by Pete Valance.
Yeah, and it's, although we haven't got a direct view of that tactics board, it certainly looks like that they're planning to go fly, and they'll. Juan Tapia Owens will be looking at, well, where we're going to set up our first line of defence, how we're going to organise. Generally, it tends to be, if it's in the middle of the court, you're a diamond, and then if the ball goes out wide, you turn into a box and try and cut that diagonal pass off and force the ball down the line. So here we go with the fly keeper.
Yeah, as expected, Malpas here forwards. Hartpury set up with the 5v4 system. They have, on occasion, to change the setup on this system and play with 2 players at the back of the court, but it's Cohen who's at the heart of things, controlling for Hartpury at the moment. Forward there to Malpass. Hale on a mazy run. Halferman will clear away. I think the referee was just waiting to see exactly if that was going to be on target or not before giving the foul, because it definitely was. Once the referee knew it was rolling well wide, the whistle was blown.
Yeah, I think this might have been Malpass with the challenge, realising, and he's just clipped Liam Palferman. And this, I think this is the fascination of the fly goalkeeper, where when you lose possession, what happens after that, and they just couldn't quite get the target. And I think you made a great point there with the referee, just allowed that to play out, see if it was a goal or not.
Mahoz to Malpaz's arms, and Malpaz will go for goal. But Halferman was back covering anyhow. One forward on the diagonal again. Still 9 minutes to play, still time for Hartpury to at least offer what they have with the fly goalkeeper. Morgan back to Bright.
I think the challenge for Hartpury is, firstly, can they get the ball high enough up the court to set up the fly keeper? And it looks like they're going to set from here. And are they going to be able to get out from here?
Yeah, well, as you allude to there, Louis, Bloomsbury pressing high and trying to stop Hartpury from properly setting up in the fly goalkeeper. And look how far Hartpury here have been forced backward. Bloomsbury get the kick in, really good press from the Bloomsbury camp, and the yellow card there shown for dissent against Marshall Hale. Martinez. I think it's going to be taken back for a retake on the initial kick, as the referee wasn't ready for it to be taken. The whistle blown just afterward. Brooker. Martinez. Brooker again looking for the penetrative pass, but well intercepted.
Yeah, this is hard for Hartpury, because they're not getting any chance to set up the fly keeper at the moment because of the Bloomsbury possession.
Into Ward, and still there for Richard Ward. It was Chris Bright with a last-ditch challenge, and the goalkeeper who saved the initial effort.
I think Richard Ward actually played that into his face as the ball comes in. I think it may have hit his... Yeah, I think he's just played it into his face there.
Yeah, on the rebound one, definitely seemed to come off the right foot of Ward and then straight into his face. The direction that he wanted on it. Well, it could so easily have been for, though, if the first effort or if the second was better diverted too. It seemed for a moment as though it was going to be another case of a rebound ending up in the net after a Malpass stop. Now down the other way, but only running into Pelfreman. No route through for Marshall Hale that time, and again frustrated Hale, and with the challenge the referee plays the advantage. And Hale, who was cautioned just a moment ago. Yeah, lucky boy to get away with that.
You might argue that is a potential caution there as well, but I think the referee is giving him the benefit of the doubt. The ball had gone.
Yeah, it was a late challenge from Marshall Hale, who as well was perhaps fortunate to avoid a caution in the first half, but was booked for dissent just a couple of minutes ago.
He's got to keep his head.
Yeah, the last thing Hartpury want now is to lose a player, as well as the 3-goal deficit. Of course, any red card here would mean further punishment in terms of a suspension for the next fixture as well, which would only heap more worries on an already small Hartpury squad. No need for that at this stage.
Good challenge here from Connor Miller. Yeah, Hartpury, they definitely haven't given this up, but the clock's now against them.
Tyson. Back again to Reed, who's taken over as the man at the back of it all for Hartpury in the 5v4. Tyson, the Hoz with an unorthodox style stop, but good enough. All the way across from left to right, left to Malpass.
I think one of the keys here is the ball speed. If it's too slow, it's just too easy for Bloomsbury to get in their shape. They're in the diamond, now they go to the box.
They have won the ball back. Miller goes for the empty net. A couple of metres wide in the end, but the opportunity and sense that if Hartpury continue to play with the fly goalkeeper and continue to give the ball away like that, there might be more opportunities for Bloomsbury to take advantage as well.
So this may be a tactic, trying to get up to Tyson and then try and win possession back to allow them to set up the fly.
Nathan. Reed across to Malpaz. Malpaz going for goal. Straight to Lahoz though. He dishes it out to Goldstein. It's 2v1 here. Goldstein all the way across. Good recovery though from Josh Nathan back to help out.
Yeah, that was a good distribution by Lahoz. Maybe Russ could have played that a little bit quicker, but
yeah, frustrating one in the end there for Bloomsbury and Russell Goldstein. He's taken on the armband in recent weeks. Goldstein, whilst Ward has been absent, but of course the regular captain has it back whilst back in the squad today. Timeout here being called. Bloomsbury still very much in the ascendancy, in the driving seat, 3-0. Something specific perhaps, which boss Juan Tapia Owens just looking to attend to here, but the Hartpury's another opportunity to, I'd imagine, set this 5v4 up tactically with the tactics board there as we just get a little peek of, but it's going to have to be a big turnaround if Hartpury are to get anything from this game now.
yeah, well, I think Bloomsbury looking at going fly. And now it's Paul McHugh's turn to try and set up the defensive structure and organisation. It's just about discipline. And we saw in that last phase where the ball went out to one wing, the fix would come out to try and deal with the left-hand corner player, and then the other player comes out to deal with the wing. And just to maintain that structure, you can't defend the whole court. It's what side of the court are they playing on. We defend that area. And obviously you're looking to avoid the diagonal pass to the player on the far post. And this is something the team should be practicing regularly in training, just to understand how it works and be better at it.
Yeah, both teams now having used their second half timeouts. And we'll play to a conclusion from here. Lahoz forward centrally. A different style to how we've seen Hartpury try to employ the fly goalkeeper.
So for me, immediately I would say the difference is the ball speed, that Bloomsbury are moving it around. It's really quick, minimal touches, getting Hartpury to move around.
Jones on that right side. Back to Lahoz in his own half of the court. I'm sure that was back in his own half.
Yeah, I'm sure that was as well. I'm not sure if the referee was just keeping eyes as Harvey Newstead given it.
I think after consultation with the third official on the desk perhaps, or conversation between the, yeah, there you go, you can see Carl Jones, the third official and timekeeper on the desk, signalling for that. It's the correct decision that the officials have come to in the end.
Yeah, fortunately the refs are mic'd up so they can communicate. that restarts an indirect free kick. Doesn't count as one of their 5 fouls.
Tyson. Malpas making the run across there diagonally from right to left. Reed. To Nathan again, but under pressure. 2 Bloomsbury players. They're pressurising the Hartpury number 21.
Yeah, and the reason for that run from Malpas is, firstly, can I disrupt the organisation of defence, open up some gaps, or maybe he might not go followed or get followed, and then there's an opportunity for him to receive the ball.
With possession once more. Cohen. It is the risk, isn't it, of playing the fly goalkeeper in a central position there. You don't have the option to go back into the defensive half of the court once the goalkeeper's already had possession.
Yeah, normally you'd see them set up on one of the wings, and that favours their more dominant foot.
Nathan.
They did really well there, Hartpury, to set that up to allow Dylan Malpas to join in.
Jones challenging all the way. Reed went down, but right in front of the referee, and nothing given for it.
I'm not sure that challenge was necessary there from Ollie Jones.
Still 3 each on the second half fouls.
We're just inviting the referee to make a decision there.
4 more ready to come on for Bloomsbury to keep things fresh. Still Miller going for the empty net again. It's high and wide that time. 3 minutes 20 seconds left to play. Malpas backtracking, has to take the goal clearance. You can imagine not long now until Bloomsbury's next 3 points of the season, and they continue to come for them, will be confirmed well soon enough. The yellow card is out again from Harvey Newstead. Palfreman it was with the challenge. Not sure whether it was Palfreman cautioned or Vitor Lima with the conversation after and what was said. Going to Malpas.
I feel if Hartpury are going to make an impression in this game, the goal's going to have to come pretty soon.
Tyson. Martinez with the challenge. Hartpury again feeling aggrieved that the position has gone against them. Should have been a Hartpury ball. Ryan Walsh just controlling the tempo of the game. The Hos didn't really need to do that, and it's brought about the Hartpury goal. Well, it's a really good finish, but it's an error from Dimala Hos. Kerwin able to pick out the target from a long, long way out. But Bloomsbury bringing about problems that they didn't need to create.
Yeah, I think I've got to call that out there. That's just really sloppy from Bloomsbury. They're the champion team, but that wasn't exactly champion behaviours there. They just got really sloppy, really careless. And now they've just thrown Hartpury a little bit of a lifeline here with 2.5 minutes to go.
Lima. Oh, wriggle free of the 3 players that were around him. Nathan kept the ball in play to begin with, but then it crossed the touchline. restart from the goalkeeper.
I mean, they are on 4 fouls, Bloomsbury. If they can get another one, then it does make it interesting, really interesting in the last few minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes to play. There's still time if Hartpury score soon. All that's gone before us is rendered irrelevant if Hartpury are able to mount the comeback.
And that last play there gives them an opportunity to bring Dylan Malpass back into play.
Replay there of the Sam Kerwin strike. It's a lot harder than it looks to find the net from that sort of distance, but Kerwin showing us how it's done.
I hear you've got that in your locker.
Yeah, the Hartpury captain. Brilliant long-range strike. It's a shrinking goal at times when it's that far out. Malpass to spin and try to improvise on the turn.
That was a great bit of control there from Dylan Malpass.
Hartpury now really going for the full court press. Has to be the case at this late stage.
Really now you just need all your best attacking options on the court, and can you just fashion that one opportunity or draw a foul to get them on 5 and then see where you go from there.
Kerwin. Reed to Kerwin again, but Hartpury need to be quick. Nathan. Kerwin, this is promising. Still Kerwin. Malpass was pleading for it, it never came his way. Still Hartpury have the ball. Morgan, cut out though by Palfreman.
And I think there was a better option on the other wing with Josh Nathan. He'd made a great run, it just needed to be lifted to him, and he was 1v1 versus the keeper.
Yeah, caught in 2, maybe 3 binds there. Sam Kerwin, as he had options both sides and could have shot himself as well. Nathan lost his balance and loses the ball. 52 seconds. Credit to Hartpury for the fact that they are still in with a chance here at this late stage against the side of Bloomsbury's quality. But it might all be put to bed now. Lima in search of Martinez. That's a brilliant recovery. Sliding block from the captain, Sam Kerwin.
That is a fantastic piece of work. That recovery run, he made a lung-bursting run to get back there to cover that.
Long from Lahoz, but it's straight out of play. 34 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's now gone for Hartpury. But I think they'll look back at this. There's a lot of positives to take here. They've had to do a lot of defending, and for Bloomsbury it'll be quite frustrating. They'll be delighted with the 3 points, obviously, but they're going to look at that performance and wonder how it wasn't more convincing.
Given straight away there to Palfreman, and had he been able to control the net was empty. Needs an option. Nothing on for him. High Bloomsbury pressure again. Kerwin. Eventually they find the escape route out. Malpass is forwards, but it's straight to Lahoz. Final seconds. There's no goalkeeper. Martinez! Adds a 4th for Bloomsbury. And Angel Martinez, who was denied by Malpass in the first half, didn't have a goalkeeper to beat that time.
Yeah, they just committed their Hartpury, and Martinez, nice and cool there, ward on the second post, but that definitely confirms the 3 points. But I think that doesn't take away from Hartpury's performances this morning. Rather, they have defended really well. They've got themselves back into the game, and they've certainly caused a few problems for Bloomsbury.
So confirmation then with that final buzzer that Bloomsbury are the victors. 4-1. They run out winners here against a resilient, valiant Hartpury side. who gave it what they had in that second half. Got a goal back as well through Sam Kerwin when Dimar Lahoz lost the ball. But Bloomsbury overall the better of the two sides. The side with more quality today, the side who created the more opportunities. And 4-1 it finishes in their favour. Bloomsbury with the 3 points again then, Louis.
Yeah, I think you just summed it up there nicely, Isaac. You know, we saw the opening goal, which was an error from the pass out, and Dylan Malpass, who had another immense game today. I have to say, you know, he's definitely one of the best keepers in the league, and not just as a goalkeeper, but the way he helps to lead the team. And a good follow-up there from Connor Miller. High quality finish into the roof of the net.
Yeah, that was the first goal to get things started for Bloomsbury, and well, they might have been left wondering how they weren't further ahead at half-time, but the goal to make it 2 eventually did come for them in the second period. Eddie Amorim again on the score sheet. How many times do we say that? Seems to score in every single game that he plays, Amorim.
Yeah, and this was a much more difficult chance than the one he had in the first half, because he had 2 players descending on him, but he picked the angle really well there. Good first time touch there to play into the middle, but was aware and reacted, and as you say, got his customary goal. And then this was some great play from Richard Ward. Great turn, and the early finish. He didn't try and take another touch. It's a little bit of play, just that little lift there, so subtle, but it's what gets him past the 2 defenders. If he plays it along the ground, it's a possibility it might get intercepted. Something for young pivots there. This little touch here, it just sets it up for the second finish.
Yeah, another Bloomsbury strike. But this was the moment of madness really from the Bloomsbury goalkeeper on the halfway line, and presenting the opportunity there, which didn't need a second invitation for the Hartpury captain Kerwin. That to bring them back in with the opportunity to maybe mount a comeback, but it always still at that stage, with the little time that was left, seemed unlikely. 3-1 at that point.
But that little goal there, that just changed the nature of the game. It made it really uncomfortable for Bloomsbury for the next 2 or so minutes, until this moment from Martinez.
Yeah, this in the closing 10 seconds. Martinez into the empty net to put the seal on things for Bloomsbury. That's the final goal. A composed finish, but no goalkeeper to beat. Just Doug Reed as the lone defender back there for Hartpury. Alpaz fully committed, much further up court. Lahoz that time with the assist in finding Martinez, and he did the rest with the finish. And that is how it finished. 4-1 then to the reigning champions and league leaders. Confirmation of that result. 4-1 in favour of Bloomsbury in the first early morning fixture. Up next, we'll have York Vikings, who take on Wessex. A big game down at the other end of the table, that one, to be followed by Maidenhead United up against Bolton with a kick-off time of 1:15. Then Derby, our hosts, face Manchester. So still plenty more action to bring to you.